Hi, hello, our dear online students. So, in the part 3 session, we discussed about the arrangement of elements in the modern periodic table and how to remember the elements. Some tricks we learnt and how to determine the atomic numbers of various elements located in the periodic table with the help of magic numbers we discussed in the last session. So today we are going to discuss about description of modern periodic table, that is, so what type of classification taken place in the modern periodic table. So here in this modern periodic table is also called a Bohr's periodic table because it follows a scheme of Bohr's rules, and it is modern periodic table is a description of Werner and Bohr-Bury and also range. So this modern periodic table is also called as Bohr's model, Bohr's modern periodic table, because it follows the scheme of Bohr rules. Okay, so today we go for detailed classification of the modern periodic table. So modern periodic table is classified into 4 blocks. 4 blocks. So these blocks are S block, P block, D block and F block. So totally 4 blocks are there: S block, P block, D block and F block. Okay, so which type of elements are called as S block, P block, D block and F block? We will discuss. First, notice S block elements. So what type of elements are called S block elements? So when a differentiating electron enters into S subshell, that type of elements are called S block elements. What is the meaning of a differentiating electron? Let me see. For example, if you take sodium, its atomic number is 11. It contains 11 electrons. When you distribute the electrons of sodium, 11 electrons into orbits, subshells and orbit also. So 11 electrons distributed into 2 electrons distributed into 1s subshell, and 8 electrons are distributed into second orbit or second shell, that is 2s and 2p6, 2s to 2p6, and the last electron that enters into 3s subshell. This last electron enter into 3s subshell. This electron is called as a differentiating electrons. The last coming electron is known as the differentiating electron. Okay, so last coming electron is known as differentiating electron. The elements in which the differentiating electron enters into S subshell, that kind of elements are called S block elements. Clear? So this S block, so sodium belongs to S block element, potassium belongs to S block elements. Totally, so this S block contains how many groups? Let me determine. S subshell contains one orbital, that is called S orbital. Each orbital can accommodate 2 electrons. Okay, S subshell contain only one orbital. This can be accommodated 2 electrons. So that's why, so S block contains the 2 groups. Do you know meaning of shell, subshell and orbital? For example, in a house, almirahs are there. In almirahs, books are there. So this house is considered as a shell, and subshell, almirahs are considered as subshell, and orbitals are considered as books. The books are considered as orbitals. Almirah is considered as subshell. Subshell is almirah, and the shell is considered as total house. Okay, so shells contains subshells. Subshells contain orbitals. So that is the difference between the shell, subshell, orbital. Shells contains the subshells. Subshells contains the orbitals. Okay, clear? So here S subshell contain only one orbital. Each orbital can accommodate 2 electrons. So that's why S block contains 2 groups. Those groups are G1, G2, means group 1 and group 2. So group 1 elements and group 2 elements, they are belonging to S block. G1 elements and G2 elements, they are belonging to S block elements, because in G1 elements, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, these in these differentiating electron enters into S orbital only. So that's why they belong to S block elements. And the G2 elements, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium, these elements also their differentiating electron enters into S orbital only. So that's why they are also belong to S block only. Okay, so these groups, this S block majorly metals, except hydrogen. Except hydrogen. Except hydrogen, hydrogen is a non-metal generally, but it belongs to S block only, but it is not a metal. So except hydrogen, most of the elements in the S block is metals only. Okay, so metals except hydrogen. So they have fixed valencies. Generally they have fixed valencies. That is G1 elements valency is 1, G2 elements valency is 2. Okay, their generally S block elements general electronic configuration is electronic configuration of S block elements is generally inert gases or noble gases NS1, 2. Inert gas NS1, 2. N means it is outermost shell. It is outermost shell. So differentiating electron enters into S subshell of outermost shell. That kind of elements are called S block elements. Their electronic configuration is inert gases or noble gases NS1, 2. Okay, so 1, 2. So this general electronic configuration of noble gases is that is G1 elements. General electronic configuration of G1 element is noble gas NS1, and G2 no general electronic configuration is noble gases NS2. Okay, so these S block elements they are having fixed valencies. They are having fixed valencies. Okay, so write about some notes description. So modern periodic table is a contribution of Range, Werner, Bohr and Bury. Modern periodic table is a contribution of Range, Werner, Bohr and Bury. It is also known as 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 Bohr's periodic table. It is also known as Bohr's periodic table because it follows Bohr's scheme of classification of elements. It follows Bohr's scheme of classification of elements. Next point right now. Modern periodic table divides into 4 blocks. Modern periodic table divides into 4 blocks. First one by one, write S block, P block, D block, F block. The first one keeps writing S block elements. S block elements. Write the definition. The elements in which differentiating electron enters into S subshell of outermost shell. S subshell of outermost shell. Known as S block elements. Known as S block elements. Outermost shell nothing but the last shell in every atom is called outermost shell. Here this in sodium 3s, that means the third shell is the outermost shell. This is called a penultimate shell. This is outermost shell, this is penultimate shell, this is anti-penultimate shell. Okay, so last shell in every atom is called outermost shell. So last before the outermost shell is called a penultimate shell, and before the shell before the penultimate shell is called anti-penultimate shell. Clear? So that is our definition. Write down next pointer. S block contains two groups, that is group 1 and group 2. Group 1 and group 2. Next point. The general electronic configuration of S block elements. General electronic configuration of S block elements is noble gas NS1, 2 is noble gas NS1, 2. So write G next pointer. Group 1 general electronic configuration is noble gas NS1. Next point. Group 2 general electronic configuration is noble gas NS2. Noble gas NS2. Next point. S block elements are metals. S block elements are metals except hydrogen. Next point. S block elements having fixed valency. S block elements having fixed valency. The valency of group 1 elements is 1, valency of group 2 elements is 2. Okay, this is about the S block elements. Now let me see P block. P block elements. So how we define the P block elements? So P block differentiating electron enters into the P subshell of outermost shell. That type of elements are called differentiating electron enters into S subshell of outermost shell. So that kind of electron, that kind of elements are called P block elements. For example, you take boron. Its atomic number is 5. The 5 electrons can be entered into 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Okay. So last coming electron, differentiating electron, that enters into P subshell. That's why this boron element belongs to P block elements. Clear? So this block contains totally 6 groups. Why? Because P subshell contains the p orbital, so p 3 p orbitals. 3 p orbitals are named as px, py, pz. So these electrons, these p orbital, each orbital can accommodate 2 electrons. So that's why P subshell accommodates 6 electrons. How they fill? First 3 electrons enter into px, py, pz, and the next 3 electrons can be entered into again px, py, pz. According to Hund's rule, they can be paired with the unpaired electrons. Okay, this is following Hund's rule. Okay, so totally P subshell accommodates total 6 electrons. That's why P block contains totally 6 groups. So 6 groups. So those 6 groups starts from G13 to G18. G13 to G18. So means boron family to inert gases. They all belong to the P block elements only. So here 13th group, here general electronic configuration of P block. general electronic configuration of p block is inert gases or noble gases ns2 np126 ns2 np126. So here differentiating electrons enter into the p subshell only. So p1, p2, p3, p4, p5, p6. Total 6 groups can be present in the p block. They are first G13 group. G13 group general electronic configuration is inert gases or noble gases ns2 np1 ns2 np1. This is called boron family. This is called a boron family. And G14 that is called inert gases. G14 general electronic configuration is ns2 and p2, that is carbon family, called as carbon family. Okay, so next G15 inert gas ns2 np3 ns2 np3. This is known as the carbon nitrogen family. So it is also called as nitrogen family. This G15 group is also called as nicogens because these grouped elements, these group G15 elements are nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. Okay, so this group elements when they burn in the presence of oxygen, they give pungent smell gases. That's why they are the generators of the pungent smell. So that's why they are called as nicogens. Okay, so these G15 elements general electronic configuration is an inert gas ns2 np3. That group is also called a nitrogen family and also known as nicogens. And G16 general electronic configuration of G16 is inert gases ns2 and p4. Okay, np4. This is called oxygen family. This is called a oxygen family. And G16 also called a chalcogen family. Okay, chalcogens, they are also called a chalcogen family. And G17 inert gas ns2 and p5. This is called a halogen family. Okay, G18 that in general electronic configuration of G18 is ns2 and p6. They are called the noble gases or noble gas family. Okay, so these are the general electronic configuration of p block elements. Okay, and this block contains total 6 groups. This block contains the mostly metals, non-metals, metalloids and noble gases. So totally 4 type of elements are present in the p block. Noble gases are present and metalloids, non-metals, metals also there. 4 type of elements. In these p block elements, they may be gases, solids, liquids. All type of three type of solids, liquids, gases also present in this p block. Hydrometals, non-metals, metalloids, noble gases also present in this block. Okay, so this is a description about the p block elements right now. So p block elements, the differentiating electron enters into the elements in which differentiating electron enters into the elements in which differentiating electron enters into p subshell p subshell the of outermost shell, p subshell of outermost shell are called p block elements. P block elements. Next point, p block contains 6 groups. P block contains 6 groups. P block contains 6 groups because p subshell accommodates 6 electrons. Because p subshell accommodates 6 electrons. They are G13 to G18. G13 to G18. Next point, the general electronic configuration of p block elements is inert gas NH2 NP126. Inert gas NH2 NP126. Okay, next point right up. General electronic configuration of G13 group is inert gas NH2 NP1. Inert gas NH2 NP1, that is called a boron family. Next point, general electronic configuration of G14 group is inert gas NH2 NP2, called a carbon family. So like that, G15, G16, G17, G18 noble gases, right? Just write down these G15, G16, G17, G18 general electronic configuration, and they are called G15 nitrogen family, also called nicogens, PNiCOGENS. G16 is called oxygen family or chalcogens, CHALCOGEN. And G17 is called halogen family, G18 is called noble gas family. Okay, just a configuration. Okay, last point read. P block contains mostly metals, non-metals, metalloids and noble gases. P block contains metals, non-metals, metalloids, noble gases. Next point. P block elements may be solids or liquids or gases having fixed valency, variable valencies, having variable valencies. They have variable valencies. Okay, they may be solids or liquids or gases having variable valencies. Okay, so these are about the P block elements. Now we go for D block. D block elements. D block elements. D block elements. How we define the D block elements? The elements in which the differentiating electron enters into the D subshell. Differentiating electron enters into D subshell. They are known as D block elements. Okay. So these D block elements contains how many groups? So D subshell accommodates how many electrons? Total 10 electrons, because it contains the 10 orbitons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So each orbital can accommodate total 2 electrons. So that's why total 10 electrons will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So total 10 electrons. That's why. So differentiating electrons will be 10 will be accommodated by the D subshell. So that's why total 10 groups are there. So D block contains 10 groups. What are the groups? They are G32, G32, G12, G32, G12. So they are all D block elements only, and this general electronic configuration of these D block elements is a general electronic configuration of D block is that is n-1 D 1 to 10 ns 0 1 comma 2 ns 0 1 2. That is the general electronic configuration of these D block elements. Here this is the penultimate shell, this is the outermost shell. Okay, this is the penultimate shell, outermost shell. So D block elements we can define as the elements in which the differentiating electron enters into D subshell of penultimate shell. They are known as D block elements. That kind of elements are called D block elements. So totally D block contains the 10 groups. They are G32, G12, and these D block elements are present in between the S and the P block elements. So mid part of the P block element, middle of the periodic table they are located, whereas S block elements at leftmost corner of the periodic table, left side. G1, G2 are left side, no, and P block of G13 to G18 they are located at rightmost of the periodic table. Rightmost of the periodic table, and D block that is located in middle of the periodic table, that is in between S and P block. This is S block, this is P block, here D block will be. Okay, this is a S leftmost, S block is leftmost, G1, G2, leftmost of the periodic table. P block elements are located at the rightmost of the periodic table. D block elements are located at the middle of the, in between S and P block elements. Okay, so that is a P LBD, and these elements generally these general electronic configuration is n-1 D1 to 10 ns012. Some exceptionally some elements have 0 ns0. Suppose you take palladium, its atomic number is 46. Okay, so its configuration, electronic configuration is krypton 4d8. Actually we can write 4d8 5s2, but here exceptional, this is the exceptional case. This configuration becomes due to more stability of 4d orbital, it becomes 4d10 and 5s0. So that's why 0 included in that general electronic configuration. Actually expected krypton 4d8 5s2, but it is an exceptional case. That's why palladium electronic configuration is krypton 4d10 5s0. Whereas nickel, if you take nickel is 28, no, electronic configuration is argon 3d8 5s2 only, 3d8 5s2. so that is this is an exceptional case. You should remember about this electronic configuration. Okay, so this D block totally D block elements are most probably metals only, with high melting point and boiling points. Mostly metals and with a high melting point and boiling points. High melting point and boiling points. Okay, and these mostly solids in nature. That D block elements are mostly solids, except one of the liquid state metal is there, that is mercury, Hg. Except mercury, mostly solids. Okay, so these D block elements are mostly metals with high melting point and boiling points, and the D block elements are solids except mercury, and they are showing variable valencies now. Variable valencies. Okay, so they are showing variable valencies, not a fixed valencies. S block elements only having fixed valencies, whereas P block showing different valencies, only variable valencies, and the D block elements also showing variable valencies. Okay, and these elements, D block elements, totally colorful elements. Their compounds are colorful in nature. Copper sulfate, blue color, compound of copper, that is blue in color. Iron oxide, that is red brown color. So these colorful compounds can be formed by the D block elements, and they act as a good catalyst. Good catalyst. They are acting as a good catalyst in various chemical reactions. Suppose if you take hydrogenation of oils, in that case we use the nickel, palladium, platinum as a catalyst in hydrogenation of oils. So oils can be prepared to vanaspati, artificially by hydrogenation. So in that process, palladium, nickel and platinum, they can be used as a catalyst. So D block elements mostly good catalyst, and colorful elements, they can form colorful compounds, they show variable valencies, they are mostly solids except mercury. Mercury is a liquid metal, and the mostly metals only with a high melting point and boiling points. So these are general characteristics of D block elements. Okay, so D block elements. So let us just write down D block elements. The elements in which differentiating electron enters into D subshell of penultimate shell. D subshell of penultimate shell are known as D block elements. Next one, D block contains 10 groups. D block contains 10 groups. They are G3 to G12, group 3 to group 12. Next point, the general electronic configuration of D block elements is N-1 D 1 to 10, N-1 D 1 to 10, NS0 1 comma 2, NS0 comma 1 comma 2. Write down these two examples also. This is exceptional case. Next point, D block elements are metals. D block elements are metals with a high melting point and boiling points. Next one, D block elements are solids. D block elements are solids except mercury. In bracket liquid, right? Within bracket liquid. Next point, D block elements showing variable valencies. D block elements showing variable valencies, comma, colorful elements, and act as a good catalyst. These are about D block elements. Okay, so next we'll notify about F block elements. F block elements. F block elements. Okay. So F block elements we can define as the elements in which the differentiating electron enters into S subshell of anti-penultimate shell. F subshell of anti-penultimate shell. Generally F subshell is present in the anti-penultimate shell only in every atoms. So that differentiating electron enters into F subshell of anti-penultimate shell. Those kind of elements are called F block elements. Generally F subshell contains the 7 orbitals now. 7 orbitals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it accommodates totally 14 electrons. Each orbital accommodates 2 electrons. So that it accommodates totally 7 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So totally 14 electrodes can be accommodated. So totally 14 14 elements are in this F block elements. F block contains the 14 plus 14. Totally 28 elements are present in the F block. This F block is located at the bottom of the periodic table, main body of the periodic table, at bottom place. So totally 14 plus 14. This block contains the 2 series of elements. One is 4F series, another is 5F series. 4F series and 5F series. 4F series is called lanthanides. Lanthanides. And 5F series is called actinides. Okay, 5F series is called actinides, lanthanides. So totally 4F series contains of 14 elements, 5F series contains of 14 elements. Totally 28 elements are present in the F block elements due to their differentiating electron enters into F subshell only. So total 28 elements are placed in the bottom of the periodic table. Okay, lanthanides and actinides. So these groups, this block belong to F block belongs to totally group 3 nana. G3 group 3 or third B, we can call third B also it is. So group 3 it belongs to, and 4F series belongs to 6th period. 5F series elements, that is actinides, belongs to 7th period. This is 6th period, P6, this is P7. So totally, but 4F and 5F series, total 28 elements, belongs to only G3 group number 3. Okay, and so these general electronic configuration of F block elements is that is n minus 2 F 1 to 14. Okay, F 1 to 14, n minus 1 D 0, 1, 2, and ns 2, ns 1, 2, ns 1, 2. That is a general electronic configuration of F block elements is n minus 2 F 1 to 14, n minus 1 D 0, 1, 2, ns 1, 2. That is this is outermost shell, this is penultimate shell, this is anti-penultimate shell. So this is the general electronic configuration of F block elements. They are placed at the bottom of the periodic table. F block contains the 2 series of elements, 4F series, 5F series. That is, the 4F series is called lanthanides and 5F series is called actinides. Okay, and totally F block belongs to which group? Group number 3, third B group. But 4F series belongs to P6, period number 6. 5F series belongs to P7, that is the P7. 5F series is called actinides, 4F series is called lanthanides. Okay, just write down F block elements. The elements in which differentiating electron enters into F subshell of anti-penultimate shell. Anti-penultimate shell are known as F block elements. Next point. F block contains two series, that is 4F series within bracket lanthanides, that is 4F series within bracket lanthanides, and 5F series within bracket actinides, Next point. F block elements belongs to group 3. F block elements belongs to group 3. But 4F series belongs to period 6, P6, and 5F series belongs to P7, period 7. Next point. The general electronic configuration of P block elements is N-2 F 1 to 14 N-1 D 0 1 comma 2 NS 1 comma 2. The last point I down. F block elements are metals. Showing variable valencies. They are metals showing variable valencies. Okay, so this is about the SPDF block elements. Okay, in the next class we will discuss about the general terms used in the periodic table. We will discuss in the next coming class. See you, bye.